how to handle recovery of insurance monies for property damage to contents in your home. We all have insurance policies, and many of them cover contents, that is, the items inside your home. Jewelry, expensive clothing, art, other items of value to you that you identify as losses after a storm or an event which causes you to make a claim with the insurance company. How do you go about making sure that you properly document that damage in a way that is most believable, most usable to the insurance company? The first and most important thing to understand is that it is your burden to demonstrate what you have lost. It is your duty to show the insurance company that you had an item prior to a storm, an arson, or other type of covered event, and then that item was damaged as a direct result of that storm or other event. Now, how do you go about showing the insurance company that? We find the best ways are to make sure that you've painted a picture of what you had before the storm, that you had items of value that were in proper condition prior to the event, and then after the event, they were damaged. And they're either shown to be damaged, say inside water, or broken, or damaged in a way that we can see that it was caused by the event that you're claiming recovery for. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, the best way to do that is to start with the idea that I want to make a pictorial, historical snapshot of what I have prior to the event. I do that through video. I do that through pictures like photographs and other types of means. Now, the best way to illustrate that in a manner that would help the insurance company to pay you what you're entitled to is to make sure that your pictures or video clearly depict the item. If I show you a video from 30 feet away of a watch and then I claim it's a Rolex, it's going to be much more difficult than if I take video or still photos from a foot away. I think you'd agree that the best way to ensure that you're going to get recovery of contents is to make sure that everyone understands what it is you had and what it is you lost. So, the best ways to photograph or videotape particular items, contents, is to make sure that you're showing those items in a way that any reasonable person could see what they are. Any reasonable person could see they're in good condition. Any reasonable person could see that these items are the types of items that are found inside your home. Now, to demonstrate why they're inside your home, it's always good for you to take the time and say, where do I typically store these items? If art is hung on a wall, I might want to take a picture or video of the art as it sits in that room. If I have jewelry in a special jewelry box, I might want to open that box up and take pictures or take video of that particular jewelry in its condition where it is at that time. Now, in order to make sure that you document that you have these items in good condition beforehand, we want to essentially timestamp them. We want to show the insurance company that before this event, we had these items, they were in good condition, and then after the event, they were damaged. How do you do that? Well, some of the simplest ways to do it is to take those photographs, to take those videotapes, and then load that data onto your computer. When you load it onto your computer, there is a date stamp of when that file was moved onto the computer. And of course, in most video cameras and often in photography, you can date stamp those particular items as they're being taken. So now we've built in both the timestamp of the video and then a timestamp of the load up to that computer. If I loaded it up to a second computer, I would have yet another level. You see what I'm doing here is I'm demonstrating that I'm taking these valid photos and then I'm loading them at a time just before the event, and I have multiple date stamps. You know, in copyright law, they say the poor man's way to copyright a product is to take it and mail it to yourself. And then you have a timestamp of you created an item which you mailed to yourself. and then you don't open it. Well, that's yet another way. We could then take that, put it onto a small jump drive, put it onto a DVD or CD, and then mail it to ourselves and not open it. The post office will actually have an exact date upon which that item was sent to you. Federal Express or other overnight services would have a date of when that item was received. You see, what we're doing is we're stacking things in our favor that will help the insurance company to understand that this is a true and accurate depiction of contents that were lost during the storm. You have to take these matters very seriously, because if you don't properly document these items, if you don't properly establish this date stamping, you can imagine that an insurance company might not want to pay your claim. They might not be sure that these items were damaged. They might not be sure that these items were damaged as a result of this event. They might not be sure that you actually took that photograph just before the event in question. By doing this, we're providing insulators, sort of our own insurance policy. We're providing ways to document and show that I validly have those damages. There are other ways to also add to that stacking list, if you will. You could have witnesses. You could have a person holding that jewelry, standing next to that art picture, being involved in part of that process, which now creates yet another witness to the event. You can take that DVD or CD or little jump drive, thumb drive, however they call them, and simply take them to your safe deposit box. The bank will have a recording of the day you appeared. If you don't reappear until after the storm event, or after the event which causes this desire to recover money, you have yet another documented time frame that's showing when you took those photos, when you took that video. That is essential and critical to ensuring that you have the best ways to document and protect yourself, both before and after the storm. I might leave you with just a thought about how you document after the storm. And that is, you can engage in the same videography, the same photography of items that are damaged. So if you have art that was water damaged, or was broken or defeated or harmed in some way, you can take pictures, take video, engage in the same process as we talked about before, right after the storm, and then load it up to your computer, and then mail it to yourself, and then send it to your safe deposit box so that we see the exact types of harm. And again, we want to make sure that we document it in a way that we actually see the damage. Taking the picture of the watch from 30 feet away or of the art from 25 feet away probably isn't going to be as productive as being a foot or 2 or 3 away. And taking as many different types of angles of that particular damaged content is also effective, because it eliminates the ability of saying, well, I really didn't see the damage based on this angle of the photograph, but now I see it on that side. As you can see, what we've done is given you a great method to help yourself maximize the ability to recover for contents damage.